This guy hauls off and just open hand slaps Jonathan Toews right across the face. Oh, yeah. And I mean, hard.
5'4".
Oh, yeah. And I mean, this guy just kaboom right here. Johnny's like, face goes flying. I'm standing there. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
My Russia story isn't quite as good as yours, but if you want to hear it, I'll tell it.
We're in.
Right ahead.
So I'm with the World Juniors, and I was coaching, and we're in Moscow, and we ended up going to a bar, and that's about midnight, and I'm like, I'd only had a couple beers, wasn't liquored up or anything, but
Hershey, what year are we looking at here?
This is like 2000, and remember they redid the 1972 series with World Junior players, so this is like 2008ish.
Yep.
So I had a couple beers, and Craig Hartsburg and Brad Pascal were all like, let's just go back to the hotel. So we're going to walk back to the hotel. So as we're walking back to the hotel, I mean, I got to have I've had a couple beers. I got to piss, but there's nowhere to go. So I go behind this building, and I'm like, going peeing and whatever. And I go to pull up my pants. This van pulls up like a Winnebago. 6 guys jump out, grab me. I'm like doing up my zipper, right? Throw me in the back of this van. It's dark, right? And this guy in the back of the van leans forward and goes, passport. And I'm like, I don't have my passport, right? I'm thinking I'm going to get fucking kidnapped. So as Commie says, money talks. So I open up my wallet. I've got like 300 US American in my wallet. He grabs it out of my wallet. The guys grab me, throw me out of the van onto the sidewalk, and take off. And they had like police hats on. And Hartsey and Brad Pascal were like going, Hershey, we thought you were fucking gone. Like you were getting kidnapped. And I was like, holy shit. And then did you think they helped me at all? Fuck no. They were gone. They're gone. Buddies, right? See you, Hershey.
Yeah, see you later. Gotta find a new coach.
It's the Wild West, hey? Like it's fucking.
Yeah. My last Russia story while I'm thinking about this, we should have him on, is Jonathan Toews. So this was 2007. So right around, I was playing in the Worlds. And so because it was in Moscow, I was actually grateful because it was in Moscow. None of the good defensemen wanted to go. So Steve Eisen went far enough down the list where finally I was invited. And I was kind of like in the peak of my career. And so he's like, it's in Moscow, Mike. Do you want to go? I'm like, I don't give a shit where it is. Like, I'll go. So long story short, that was the year that Jonathan Toews, North Dakota guy, that was the year where he won the World Juniors and the men's. So he was playing with us.
Hershey and I stood next to each other for that shootout at the World Juniors with Toews.
Yeah, that was amazing what he did.
Crazy.
And he was a great player. Like when I went over there, the North Dakota coaches were like, hey, try and get Jonathan to come back to UND. We both went to North Dakota. I'm like, yeah, sure. I see this kid play one game. I'm like, hey, look, his parents were there too. And I'm like, hey, look, like I'm supposed to sit here and convince you guys like to go back to North Dakota. I'm like, look, I go, you're ready now, hockey wise. I'm like, my only advice would be like, go when you're ready. Like, obviously the injury is always a risk, but like, if you want to go back to college, we'll go back to college, but I'm not going to sit here and try and tell you like, you're not ready to turn pro. But then Jonathan's a very wholesome guy. He was young at the time or whatever. So we all do it. Every time we did a team dinner in Russia, it was a team thing. We get the bus and a police escort to take us to a restaurant. Anytime we went anywhere. Otherwise, you couldn't fucking get anywhere in that city. So we go to this place, a restaurant, have a little team dinner or whatever, and we're kind of walking out. And I kind of stayed back, just, kind of not make sure, but just kind of keeping an eye on things. And I would keep an eye on Johnny just because of North Dakota. I felt, I just kept an eye on him. And so we're walking out, and I'm right behind him. And there's this little, right by the front, the hostess stand, another nice restaurant. There's this little dude, like this guy couldn't have been much more than 5'4", in like an impeccable suit, real slick looking, like just berating this woman, berating her, like yelling at her in Russian. All of a sudden, he hauls off and just smacks her, like open hand or whatever. And I'm like, Jesus. And no, sorry, I got that wrong. He's yelling at this broad. Doesn't hit her. My bad. He's yelling at this broad, and she's like just standing there. He's whatever. Hands are flying. I see Johnny in front of me. Johnny sees this and like veers off towards him. And like, I'm like, uh-oh. And Johnny like taps the guy on the shoulder, like wanted to tell him to stop. Obviously, that ain't going to go well. And he can't understand you anyways. So he like kind of taps him on the shoulder. The guy turns around and looks at him. Johnny's like saying something. I don't know what the hell he was saying. This guy, I got the smack wrong. This guy hauls off and just open hand slaps Jonathan Toews right across the face. Oh, yeah. And I mean, hard.
5'4".
Oh, yeah. And I mean, this guy just kaboom right here. Johnny's like, face goes flying. I'm standing there. I'm like, oh, Jesus. So the guy kind of follows through. I kind of walk up there. I push Johnny towards the door. I grab this guy by his belt and the top of his like suit jacket, and I just ram this guy right into the wall head first, like as hard as I can. Shane Doan was still inside. He was our captain. I'm like, I go, Donor. I yell at Donor. I go, now let's go. So we go outside, and I'm like, on the bus. We all get on the bus, and we got the fuck out of it. I've never heard another thing about it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, Johnny.
My God.
Let's just leave the locals to do their own thing here. We aren't the morality police. So, anyways, he still remembers it to this day. I saw Johnny on the golf course here. Like, I don't see him very often, but at all. But anyways,
how would you forget that story if somebody paintbrushes you that hard? That's 5 foot nothing. And
yeah, Johnny had a lot of things going on, and yeah, he did remember though. I will never forget that. Like, I've never seen somebody get slapped that hard. It was actually pretty impressive.
And like an open hand slap, like even more so than a punch, because it's loud, right? There's a sound effect to a punch. A punch is a punch, more of a thud, where an open hand slap, like everybody hears an open hand slap.
And on a guy, it's kind of I don't know if it's degrading.
It's insulting, man.
Almost,
humiliating.
It's insulting.
You get an open hand
almost
slap.
get drilled with a punch.
Yeah.
Like slapped is like.
What did Taser do? Like, did he do anything, or was he just a bystander in the wrong place?
He was just going up and he tapped the guy, and I think he was trying to tell the guy to calm down, is what I think he was doing, because the guy was just screaming at this broad, and he was like trying to just be a good dude and like calm down. You shouldn't yell at women or whatever. Yeah. This guy wasn't having it. He was not
being a gentleman.
Wow. Jonathan,
Taser being a gentleman, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Razor, you're up. Come on, give us a story.
I should have went to Russia. I wanted to go to Russia just for that. I should have went to Russia.
No, you shouldn't have. I've been there enough times. Right? My God, those are great stories. It's the Commodore hour right now. I love it. I love it. So I got another Commie story. So Commie, do you remember we met in Scottsdale? We were just talking about some stuff. And I was asking him all about it's really but you were an Uber driver.
Yes.
And I was like, why are you an Uber driver? You're like, it's a great way to meet chicks, man.
Yeah, it was. I might start doing it again as well.
Oh my God. That's okay.
I tell you what, this Uber driving now these days, like everything else has gotten more expensive. I'm telling you what, it might be.
You get one of those black Suburbans, you make some real money doing that.
Seriously. And it's a great way. Like, you want to get out of the house and, you want to meet some people or whatever, get out of the house, but you don't want to drink or you don't want to go to the bar or whatever. It's a great way to do it, actually. Now, you're going to get some rides that you're like, that's the one thing here, Hershey. I think I probably told you that, is like, it would be awesome if it was like parameters, like, you could only drive in Scottsdale and within like 10 minutes of Scottsdale or something. But like, there were times where I'd pick somebody up. I'd pick up a couple of pilots at the Scottsdale private strip here. Yeah. And I'm taking them out to this is like 50 minutes, like out to Anthem. And then you get out there and you're never getting a ride back. So my car was like, I'm like, I don't know if this is worth it. When you bring everything in, the wear and tear on the vehicle, I'm like, I think I'm on the losing end. I never got tips. Like, never. Nobody ever tipped. Like, the only one tip that I got was this. He was a drunk college kid, nice enough kid or whatever. He's like, I had him sit up front, and, he was kind of loud. He was drunk. Not terrible, but he was drunk. And so just bullshitting with him or whatever. And then he tried to pull it over. So he's like, drop him off or whatever. He's like, hey, thanks, man. And he hands me a single. And I'm like, hey, man. I go, you know what? Don't worry about it, dude. This is just a fun thing for me, man. You need it more than I do. I go get yourself a shot or something. Like, it's all good. He said, no. I go, no, dude, please. You're in college. Like, I don't want your fucking money.
Hideous women in Scottsdale too. Just hideous, right?
Oh yeah.
Commie, more importantly, what was your Uber rating?
High. It was good. I was a good driver. Like I had people, I would look if, sometimes drivers like you get in and if you're not in the mood to talk, and now they have like the conversation option or whatever. But, sometimes like I was good. I was like, look, if somebody got in the car, whether it was a guy or, I'd be polite, but if they didn't want to talk, I just shut my mouth and took them to wherever they wanted to go. But if they wanted to chat, I would chat. I didn't mind because I'm doing this for fun. Like, in 2 minutes, if somebody orders 2 minutes later or whatever it is, you can leave, get the fare. And, if that's considered late, but like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck's the difference if it's 2 minutes or 10? Like, I'm not doing anything anyways. I got nowhere to go. So my rating was high. It wasn't 5, but it was like 4.9 something. Some asshole didn't give me a 5. And
I think it was Razor didn't give you a 5.
I should do that again, though. I like driving, so.